I had been thinking about something in my own personal life about relationships and how sometimes distance creeps in and it's very hard, in my experience, to sort of get back across to where you once were. And so I was doing some reading on that topic and reading about couples who had tried to fix their marriages or long-term relationships. And I realized that a lot of the people I was reading about were significantly older than I was and maybe had been married for a long time. And I just started to think, gosh, I'm having trouble. It must be so much more difficult if you're older and these things have become really entrenched. And so I just started wanting to imagine a couple like that who could find it again. And I wanted to know if I could actually imagine it. Mm-hmm. We went in for the first meeting with Todd, and he was like, okay, well, you could make this as a really small movie and nobody would see it, and that would be so heartbreaking because you'd put all this work into it and then nobody would see it. I really can't do it that way. So what I think we should do is get Meryl Streep. And we were all just like, well, yeah.
I basically said, I won't make the movie if we don't get Meryl Streep. And I knew that I had the chance of them saying goodbye because there was another producer that wanted it, or other people that wanted it. But I was so overwhelmed from the night before. Somebody in my company had read it and said, we know you like good writing. You should read this. It's an available script. It's been out there for a little bit. And I brought it home that night and didn't have a lot of reading that night, which is rare. And I thought, oh, I'll read 20 pages and go to sleep. And I read 120 pages and put it down, and my heart started pounding. And whenever it does that, as a film producer for 20-something years, I know that I have something amazing. And then I read it again that night, and I never had done that before with a script, where I was able to read it twice in one sitting and feel the same way. And then Vanessa and her manager and agent came in, or her managers and Vanessa came in the next day to my office, and I thought, I only can make this with Meryl Streep. It's heartbreaking material that well written that isn't seen with an actor, and there's many good actresses of Meryl's age that would be great in it. But I knew, at least with Meryl, audiences, you love Meryl, right? So you want to come and see that. And I thought, I can't make the movie and have nobody go see it. And I literally called up Meryl's agent, who I knew well, and said, I have to come and see you, and walked the script into his office. And he's like, I've known you 20 years. Why are you in my office with a script? And I said, because I have Meryl's next movie, and you're going to want her to do it, and she's going to want to do it. And for some reason, I was so confident in the material and in Vanessa, quite frankly, that I knew she would say yes. And this was on a Thursday, and on a Monday, Kevin Huvain, Meryl's agent, who really made this happen, called me and said, you were right. It's one of the best scripts I've ever read, and Meryl's going to want to do it. Sit tight. And we sat tight for a year. Meryl was doing another movie called It's Complicated. And she was a little tired after that shoot. And I would call Kevin every couple of weeks, and then I would call Vanessa and Guyman every couple of weeks and say, sit tight, sit tight. And sure enough, about a year later, Kevin said, I'm with Meryl in New York. She read your script. She's firmly committing. Let's go make the movie. The whole feeling was never to feel anything but the characters and the emotion. It's seemingly it looks so easily directed. It's actually very hard when you have dialogue movies and emotion movies to not get in the way and do jazzy camera things. And I think David Frankel did an unbelievably good job of just letting it flow and letting the camera sit there, and when you need to push in, and when you don't, just let it sit there. And don't be afraid of master shots, and don't be afraid to go in really close. I mean, there were some close-up shots, and Meryl actually came to us. You were there, and she looked at us and she goes, get close. And David said, how close? And she goes, close. And David said, like that. And she pushed his hand and she goes, like that. She goes, I'm real. I want to be real. I want people, I want to be relatable to everybody because I am. And we said, Tommy, and Tommy's like, get real, go close.